Leave that one for later.
Okay. So the next topic that we have is it the opposite? Is race relations and sexual orientation relations the opposite of sports? Arguably.
I mean, you could debate it. You could debate both forever, right?
Okay, so
related to sports.
Yeah, exactly. we'll just emphasize that the system is fucked up. That's the one relating factor between these two topics. So the next one is for what most people know about the Genuwine thing. Him on the Baby Boy or Big Brother
After Dark.
Big Brother After Dark, which is basically just it's like a talk show, basically. You know, it's like an online podcast, and him being massively bashed for not wanting to kiss India Willoughby, who is a transgender woman.
Oh man, that's so dumb.
And I made sure to touch up on it before the video. I watched the clip, and in the video, basically the main thing that starts off this whole part, it's a 2-minute clip. She asks, would you date a transgender woman? And in the room, it wasn't just her and Ginuwine. It was 2 other transgender women. It
was a few people.
Yeah, 2 other transgender women, another guy, and then another woman.
The thing about that is that they were talking about, like, are transgender women, you know, are they men, shit like that. So they were having a whole ass discussion about it.
Yeah.
But then it got to this point.
But yeah, this was the most important part. You know what I mean? Because we could talk about the whole thing for 3 hours.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And basically, it's what's it called? Ginuwine comes to the conclusion that he doesn't come to a conclusion. He basically just says that it's about choice. Like he said, I would choose not to date a transgender woman because India emphasized something about like anytime she's like talks to a guy and mentions that she's trans, he switches the script real quick and changes the subject and it's like backs off. And she basically just thought that was unfair, you know what I mean? Because for the most part, Ginuwine said, and after she proposed that question, Ginuwine got a little uncomfortable. You see him in the video; he's sitting there like,
yeah, she tried to give him a little,
yeah, you know what I mean. And then she goes in, and then and she tries to kiss him. She just like, okay, come here, give me a kiss, grabs him.
Yeah, and he was cool with the grab because he kind of linked back with it and played with it. It was the kiss that fucked him up.
Yeah, he still tried to laugh it off. He was just like, yeah, nah. And bro, she got real serious. Her exact words. I made sure to quote that shit. All the unspoken things that you can read into both of those responses, emphasizing him pushing her away and like laughing it off,
pulling away.
Illustrate my case 100%. And her case is basically that people are uncomfortable with transgender people. Like that's the case that she was trying to make. And I know some British news outlets said that she's a victim for Ginuwine doing that to her. And basically they tried to paint Ginuwine as the culprit in this thing, like he's wrong for not wanting to kiss her. And the question that I wanted to mainly pose about this is Ginuwine, can we say that you're transphobic because you don't want because you don't want that's the main thing. Can you say you're transphobic because you don't want to kiss a trans woman? I mean, and the main thing that I said this to Angel before the podcast, just because I don't want to make out with Oprah, does that mean I'm gay? No, it doesn't, right?
Nah, it's just stupid.
I mean, because
Oprah can kiss me. Wow, Oprah, love you. My bad, stepping out on no trouble. Wow, Oprah.
That's a $1 billion kiss. Maybe I got to change it up, but that was just for the example.
I mean, Tony 1 of 9, please give your opinion.
Oh my god.
Because
I know people trans. I worked in the trans community when I managed the food truck. Co-managed the food truck, and a lot of the people, were trans, homosexual, or whatever they were, and I didn't think he did nothing wrong. I mean, if she was at a bar and some ugly dude came up and tried and give her a kiss, she gonna, I'm good, bro. I'm straight.
Exactly.
So what? Is she ugly phobic? Like, it's not a big deal. It's a free. It's a country. People are assumed to be free. That man can't choose if he want to kiss your ass or not. How free is this country?
I just hate the fact that it came down to he didn't want to kiss her because she was trans. What if he just didn't want to kiss her because he didn't want to kiss her? And one of the other women on the video was just like, yeah, he doesn't seem too into it. So it doesn't have anything to do with the fact that she's trans. He just don't want to kiss you. Like, is that like?
Well, then let's kind of flip it this way. What about that man? The way he grew up. Companies like big companies are okay with turning away homosexuals. I think it was a big thing with Chick-fil-A.
Very big thing.
And it was fine. People still eat Chick-fil-A like a motherfucker.
So people still love Chick-fil-A.
Exactly. and that was fine.
They got some good food though, I'm not gonna lie.
I've never eaten at Chick-fil-A. Never.
Tangent, go to Chick-fil-A, back on subject.
Okay.
I still probably won't go. But you maybe lose it. But we gonna edit that out.
Yeah, that's fine.
But yeah, it's free. And what about the way he was brought up? He was brought up probably in a religious household. from a religious maybe, I don't know, but I'm just assuming, I'm just throwing out just some other perspective. He was brought up with man and woman.
True.
Sure, she transitions into a woman, but what about his moral and his religious beliefs? That's different. You know, so how can you just automatically label this man something without even knowing his background and what he believes in? It could have nothing to do with her personally, just something spiritually or religiously.
Or even that, or even beyond that, is like, what if he just has a girl or has a wife and he just doesn't want to kiss anybody else? I think that's something that nobody talked about at all.
Yeah,
that's true.
It doesn't have to be about sexual orientation or anything like that. It can just be about his morals as a person. Like, he just doesn't want to kiss you because he may not find you attractive, regardless of you know. He just doesn't want to kiss you. Like you said, he might have a wife, and at the same time, you know. Let's just tell it for what it is. Like Tony gave the example. If a dude randomly came up to her in a bar and like tried to kiss her, like. You don't feel like you were wrong for trying to force yourself upon him? Isn't that what the whole Me Too sexual harassment thing is? Like,
that's the part nobody's talking about.
Like, men can be sexually harassed too.
Yes,
and that's what that was. That was sheer sexual harassment. The fact that she pulled him in and attempted to kiss him, that was without his consent. That's pure sexual harassment.
That's word.
Okay. Why do you guys think that they're trying to say he's bad? Why do you guys think?
They just trying to stir up some shit.
They're just trying to stir up some shit, but at the end of the day, you know what I mean? All these topics are super, super sensitive. So it's like if you say anything that they feel is too honest, or about this whole, you know, LGBTQ movement, it's like you're instantly labeled some sort of hater, or you're transphobic, you're homophobic, you're some type of phobic if you express yourself in the most minimalist way. Like I said, he just pushed back and kind of laughed it off, and instantly. You know, people are bashing him through Twitter. It was trending. You know what I mean? Like he is the, you know, what's the episode of Black Mirror where there's like the death to like people who are bad? You know, it's the same thing. Like, it's kind of like that. You know, they try to like paint him as a terrible person because of his preferences, and it's like isn't that still prejudice, which is something we want to avoid?
Now here's something I want you guys to think about. Have you ever walked up to a girl and be like, "Hey, mama," and like give her that game, and she's like, "Nah, get away from me"? Did you ever think, "Oh man, you just hate men, you hate black people, you fucking hate America,
you're dick phobic"?
Exactly. You guys never thought that shit, right?
No, I just thought maybe, you know, I wasn't looking good enough that night.
Or maybe she just does. You're just.
Or
not
she got a
type.
whole ass boyfriend.
Or she's got a boyfriend. You're not her type. You're not tall enough, or your breath stink. I don't know.
It could be anything. It doesn't have to be.
You know,
it could have been. And that's something. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, you good. You good.
And that's something that I feel like this woman, what was her name?
India
Wallaby. I feel as if just watching that, she feels entitled to Genuwine just because exactly what happened. If he pulls away, well, then she can label him, "Oh, you're transphobic, you must hate gays, you hate all this." But now I was best friends with a gay dude, and I can tell you from firsthand experience watching him and talking to him, like, he really had this victimhood mentality.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that, in all honesty, the way he explained his life, most people that he grew up with really did hate him.
Yeah.
So, or fear, like, "Oh my God, don't talk to me, you know, I'm not gay, blah, 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 this and that." So I feel as if she was almost conditioned to be like, "Oh, well, if you don't kiss me, then you hate all trans people," which is stupid. Mm-hmm. I think people that, you know, try to say that, like, "Oh, Genuwine is bad," is really just silly, and they should really become more open-minded. Like for you guys and me, I'm pretty sure we're open-minded. We can see it. Mm-hmm. Like, it's almost obvious.
And the whole time they referred to her as a she.
Yeah.
You know,
out
actually,
of respect.
Obviously,
Yeah.
you know, we respect that, you know, decision to transition.
Yeah.
Transition, you know. So that I was going to point that out too. Like, I want to watch the video again and see, like, or any quotes that he did, if he referred to her as anything other than the woman that she is now.
Which he did not do, from what I've seen. So, but feel free to look back into it.
Just don't see how can it be so transphobic.
I don't know. At the end of the day, India Wallaby, whatever however you say it.
No, I say Willoughby. Fuck it.
I think it is Willoughby. But regardless, she took advantage of the situation and just tried to paint Genuwine as a bad person for not wanting to kiss her. You know, and she is some. It seems in my mind, I'm gonna try to give her the benefit of the doubt. It was something that just kind of went left, like a joke that went a little bit too far. And then when she realized, like, oh shit, I kind of fucked up. Like, in the heat of the moment, I kind of fucked up. She just kind of like had to stick with what she knew. Like, you see what you did? You see you see how he responded? Mm-hmm. Like that's fucked up. You know, like that's what
that victimhood mentality.
Yeah, you know what I mean, and which is like you said, a mentality that many of these people do have, and I can understand that.
Oh, absolutely.
For my what was it a big thing in the like for me at least in my family or I'll generalize for the black community is. Homosexuality isn't a huge thing, you know. It's very frowned upon, actually. Like one of those things where I remember what's called. I don't like to. I mean, I don't want to actively mention this, but I guess I should. You know, D.L. Hewley said, "I'd rather put out my own dirt than somebody else put my dirt out." Mm-hmm. I remember I was listening to my mom on the phone. She used to have a prayer meeting with a bunch of her friends, and she said something about like healing homosexuality as if it was like an illness. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It was just homophobia is something that is deeply ingrained into the black culture, which is sad, but at the end of the day, we're not gonna. I'm not saying this to say that Genuwine is homophobic, but I am saying like, you know, the victimhood role is understandable.
But I see, and that goes back to the statement I made earlier. It's not completely that your mom had this stain. She thought homophobia was a stain. It's the fact that the way that she was brought up in religion, they tell you that it is completely frowned upon. Yeah. So from her perspective, that's all she sees is that it's frowned upon, and like we know. It's hard to teach an old dog new tricks.
100%.
So, I mean, and that's just all it is. But people can't have their opinions no more.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The world is way too sensitive.
The world is so sensitive.
You know, it's like if you say something that's not in good term, if that's not positive about somebody, you're instantly a hater. You instantly don't like them. You know, everybody's a fucking soft as baby shit.
Somebody's a phobic to something.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Everybody's a fucking victim right now, and I hate the weakness that's like come to light with all the positivity that's come. You know, with all the equality, there's come a lot of weakness that's been put out.
Now, don't get me wrong. Some of it is totally legitimate.
Of course, I'm not saying that.
Like if you guys were go to like Louisiana, they might treat you a little differently, and that's totally understandable.
That's word.
But a lot of this stuff, like, oh man, you have an opinion that differs from me. You're this and that. It's really, oh my god, like it pisses me off so much, so much. Me being an open-minded person, I want to hear everybody's opinions. But if I say something that's wrong to them, you know, I'm a bad guy.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't.
And that, you know what? Fuck it. I don't even care, man. Genuwine is not transphobic, as far as I can tell.
So to put this in perspective, I think I got a good way. I got a good way to put this in perspective.
Okay, let's do it. We're
gonna label this whatever we would call it. If she was to turn down a guy that didn't want to mess with her, and that's what it is. It's simply put it, and that's all it is.
Yeah, it's all about preference.
It's strictly preference. It has nothing.
Exactly.
I don't have to. Just because I don't want to deal with you doesn't mean I hate you. Doesn't mean I don't like you. It just means that I don't want to deal with you.
It means I'm uninterested at the moment. Try again later.
Exactly.